My favorite passages in all of Scripture is in Job when he says, the God who looked at the ocean and said, stop there. That's the God we're talking about. So we're not going to get hung up on this idea of a fish and a guy being in the belly of a fish. Because if he can do stars, and he can pay for my sin, and he can change my life and your life, I think he can do a fish. Believer, you know the feeling. You know who God is. You know he paid for your life, but you don't really trust where he's sending you. God is going to use your life, and he's going to use your life whether or not you decide to surrender it. He's the God of the universe. He's using what's happening in your life currently to be an example. Other people are watching, other people are seeing. If you're a believer, they're looking at your life and he's saying, this is what's happening. Other people can see it, they can see what's happening. And he's in control of everything, including what they see. So don't hear Jonah and think this guy was just busted, didn't care anything, and was just doing what he wanted to do. No. This guy was a prophet of the Most High God, had spoken for God in a public forum to the king. No, go into the town square, tell them that they're sinning. You know these people that would kill you? Go do that. And then Jonah says, ain't gonna happen. And he completely bolts the other way. Why do you care? God's call on our lives is clear. Love him and be obedient to his word. It's time that we as believers stop trying to muddy this up. Stop acting like I don't know what God's will is for my life. I don't know what his plan is. You may not know where God's sending you. You may not know where you're going to live. But we do know that his word is clear about being obedient to him, about loving him above all, then treating your neighbor as yourself. Think through your life right this moment. The God of the universe is talking to you. The Holy Spirit is doing his work. What is it that's happening in your life that he's been clear on that you may or may not be following him on? What's happening? Where you at? Hurled it. The God of the universe threw a wind at him. Pause for a second about Jonah's life. Think about that for our own lives. We serve a God who can throw the weather. Have you been disciplined by God recently? When's the last time you were disciplined by God? How'd that feel? It's not great. But part of knowing God's plan is understanding when you're being disciplined and seeing it for what it is. He's correcting your path. You gave him your nah. You said, I'm not doing it. And he said, no, you are. Don't believe the lie for a second that your sin is only about you. When you sin, consequences come, and other people have to live with those consequences. Because you don't get to say when you're benched. You don't get to say, God, I'm done now. God's plan involves you whether you want to or not. He's using you. He has you placed where you are for a reason. Jonah, when offered the opportunity, when they said, why did you sin against your God? How do we stop this? Did he say, turn the boat around, I'll get on my knees and pray? He said, throw me in the water. That's where his heart was, guys. My heart breaks for Jonah right now. He chose death over following God. In that moment, he decided, I would rather die than go to Nineveh. And you know what God said? He said no to Jonah's nah. He said, no, Jonah, you got this messed up. You're missing the point here. You don't get to pick when I use you. What fish are you in? Where are you at? What's going on? Is that where you're at? Have you said no, and God says no to your no? We can trust his plan. We know who he is. We can trust where he's calling us. God's plan is for him to declare to the universe who he is. He's equipped us to be a part of it. And you're going to be a part of it whether you want to or not. So let's be excited about being part of it.